Once again. Can you believe it? We are nearing the midway point of the fantasy football season, and if you're chasing that playoff spot, then you need to listen up to what the guys from fantasyfootballstarters.com have to say. We have Russ Bliss joining us this morning. Lots to get caught up on. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. How are you this morning?
I'm doing excellent. Ready for another big week of football.
Yeah, and I know you guys, I mean, they literally live and breathe football. If you're just joining us, not familiar with fantasyfootballstarters.com, they're a website and an awesome tool in helping you making your team a winning one.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's get started with the bye weeks, because a couple of those that we need to talk about.
Yeah, there's 4 teams on bye in week number 7. Knowing your bye weeks is very important in winning in fantasy football, because you never want to start a player from a team that's on bye. And this week, Detroit, Houston, Indianapolis, and the New York Jets all are on bye. Don't start anyone from those teams. They'll get you no points. All
right. What about your injury update for us this morning? Because we've heard of quite a few big names on who were hurt.
There's lots of injuries to talk about, but the main ones that you want to pay attention to, quarterback Michael Vick of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's coming back from his rib injury, but he's not quite ready to return to the starting lineup. He's going to not be the starter today. It's going to be Kevin Cobb for Philadelphia.
Okay.
Also, Raiders quarterbacks Bruce Gradkowski and Jason Campbell, they're both banged up. Gradkowski won't play today. Campbell will be a game-time decision, and if he can't go, Kyle Bowler gets the start. Also, quarterback Vince Young for the Tennessee Titans. He suffered ankle and knee injuries last Monday night. Kerry Collins most likely is going to start today. And the other quarterback that played last Monday night, David Garrard, he got a concussion. His backup is Trent Edwards, but he sprained a finger in that game Monday night. So it could be Todd Bowman. In the case of Raiders and Jaguars, just stay away from both teams altogether.
All right, what about our running backs?
Running backs, no Sean Moreno for the Denver Broncos. Made it through last week without aggravating his hamstring injury. He's not on the injury report this week, so he looks good to go. And Pierre Thomas for the New Orleans Saints, he's got an ankle injury. He's out. Chris Ivory's going to get the start today.
All right. Deshaun Jackson, what's the update on him?
Deshaun Jackson still having problems with the concussion. He has not been able to pass his baseline tests. He's definitely out for this week. Malcolm Floyd has a hamstring injury. He's not going to play today for San Diego. Eddie Royal has a groin injury for the Denver Broncos. He's going to be a game-time decision. Most likely is not going to play. And Steve Smith of the Carolina Panthers, he's got an ankle injury. He was supposed to take a couple of weeks off, but he's coming back early. He will start today for the Carolina Panthers.
All right, gosh, I think that is one of the longest injury lists we've covered over the past 6-7 weeks at this point.
And they're piling up. Wow. They're piling up every week.
Well, we're getting to that point where they've been beaten up, so those injuries are coming. All right, so now that we've covered who not to play this weekend, what are some of the strong starts and the strong plays this week?
Well, at quarterback, one guy that's got a great matchup this week is Matt Castle of the Kansas City Chiefs. Matt Castle gets a matchup against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's one of the weakest pass defenses in the NFL. He had a good week last week, Castle did. He's going to have another good week this week. At the running back position, you're looking at Ray Rice. Ray Rice for the Baltimore Ravens gets a great matchup this week against Buffalo. They're dead last against the run in the NFL. Ray Rice, the Ravens have been trying to get him on track for a couple of weeks now. He gets on track today. And finally, at wide receiver, Jeremy Maclin for the Philadelphia Eagles. When Deshaun Jackson got injured last week, Maclin stepped up, started becoming the playmaker. Look for Kevin Cobb to hook up with Jeremy Maclin, because he is the playmaking wide receiver now. It's not a great matchup against Tennessee, but it's definitely a situation where Maclin is poised to have a really good game.
How do you guys pick these folks who are good to play? Because I imagine there's obviously quite a few good to play, but you look at the different statistics and who they're playing against, correct?
Yes, it's definitely a consideration of the matchups that you have each week. It's also a consideration of opportunity. They say that good luck, or that good preparation is when good luck meets opportunity. And when you've got the opportunity, like Maclin has now, to be the #1 for the Philadelphia Eagles, that definitely is tasty, especially when you know that Philadelphia throws the football as often as they do. They're a 65-35 pass-run ratio team, so when you've got a guy that's going to be a #1 in that situation, definitely makes a good play.
Sort of sounds like it's when the planets all align, and it's that perfect matchup. All right, let's talk about our Cardinals. Of course, they are away in Seattle taking up the Seahawks. What are we thinking about today's game?
Well, first up, you've got the injury updates on Steve Breaston and Early Doucette. Both of these players are listed as questionable on the injury report. However, both are expected to play.
Okay.
So Steve Breaston should be back in the starting lineup. And then they're taking on a Seattle team that's very strong against the run, but very weak against the pass. And that goes against what the Cardinals would like to do in this game. What they would like to do is use Chris Wells, Beanie Wells, to help set up the passing game for Max Hall, because they don't want to put too much pressure on Max Hall to feel like as though he has to win this football game himself. Now, Seattle's very strong against the run, but the Cardinals ran Wells 20 times 2 weeks ago before their bye week. He only got 35 yards. As long as they continue to commit to that running game, it'll help Max Hall be able to exploit the fact that Seattle, despite the fact that they're a top 3 run defense, they're a bottom 5 pass defense. And with a healthy Larry Fitzgerald, returning Steve Preston, maybe things get on track for the Cardinals in the passing game.
And you can bet they've been working on that passing game.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right, let's talk about your game prediction then for this.
Well, my personal game prediction, I took Seattle 24-20 in my blog at fantasyfootballstarters.com because Seattle is just one of the hardest places to win. The Cardinals have won twice now up there in back-to-back years. They've got a 4-game winning streak against Seattle, but it's a very tough place to play. Seattle's a much better home team than a road team, and the Cardinals so far on the road haven't exactly been lights out this season. Our algorithm has actually got the Cardinals losing 24-14 in that game. But, you know, fingers are crossed. Anything can happen. It's supposed to be sloppy conditions there in Seattle, so hopefully a few more bounces break the Cardinals' way.
When Russ's predictions are against the Cardinals, that's when we root against him. And next week, of course, the Cards will be back to take on Tampa Bay on Halloween, and you guys actually have a giveaway, a ticket giveaway for that game. Yeah, we're going to do a ticket giveaway right now. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to that game and a parking pass to the person that can correctly answer this question. In 1988, the Cardinals got their first win ever as a team based in Arizona against Tampa Bay because of a last-minute touchdown pass to Jay Novacek. Name the quarterback that threw that touchdown pass to get the Cardinals their first ever win as an Arizona-based team. I think I know the answer to this. You might. Yeah, and all they have to do is just email Russ at fantasyfootballstarters.com, and the first correct answer, we're going to go ahead and get them set up with a pair of tickets. They can pick it up while I'm doing my radio show on the Fan AM 1060. I do that on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings from Santisi Brothers Pizzeria and Sports Grill in North Phoenix. Awesome. Well, we love having you on the show. We love hearing you on the radio on 1060, and there you go. If you haven't used fantasyfootballstarters.com, go ahead and give it a try because really it's a great tool. My husband attests to it because he's like, I have a winning team this year and he's going to make the playoffs, I think, thanks to your help and all the tips you guys give. Well, so. He drafted a good team. I've seen his team. He's got a good team. Believe it or not, today I said, all right, any last minute questions for the guys? And he's like, I think I'm good this weekend. I think the first Sunday he hasn't had a question for you guys. Russ, thank you so much. We sure appreciate it. Thank you. All the information, of course, on azfamily.com, especially if you can win those tickets to next Sunday's Cardinals game.